Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Central Virginia fishing report with Ethan Martin of TaleTellers Fly Shop. How's it going, Ethan?
I'm alive and well, so can't beat that.
Yeah, there you go. We've got this sort of the new normal going on. How are things in Lynchburg with COVID-19?
Well, at this point, I guess we're recording this on Tuesday, so at this point, there haven't been any cases in Lynchburg. Now, that could always change, but stuff's closing down, businesses, schools, all that stuff. Well, in terms of restaurants. But we are open. We're not a high-volume, really, area or store, so and I clean after everybody leaves, so you can always know that if you come in, it's nice and fresh and smells like a Clorox wipe.
Well, there you go. You making any adjustments to maybe some of the bigger activities in the shop, like some of your time classes or things like that?
Sadly, yes. We've postponed. We had a Fly Fishing 101 that was going to be coming on this upcoming Thursday, and we went ahead and postponed that just because of I already knew there was going to be a lot of people. And if you've been in the shop, it's not incredibly enormous. So having 25 people in 650 square foot is tight. So we postponed Fly Fishing 101, and we just went ahead and postponed our fly tie night for next week. And we will going to kind of see, get the lay of the land after next week in terms of the classes. I mean, anybody can walk in at any time of the day, and if they want to learn something, either fly tying wise or fly fishing wise, they can ask away. But in terms of the actual classes, like I said, we're going to postpone those just because of how concentrated people would be. And if somebody does have it, well, that's no good.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the positive side, for social distancing, you got great fishing weather coming up in Central Virginia.
Absolutely, yeah. It's looking, I mean, unbelievable, to be honest with you. I was in Tennessee this past weekend, and it was a little chilly. And I guess what I've known for a while, but have really begun to realize is that this Central Virginia, the Lynchburg area, we are typically like 2 weeks ahead of really most other parts in Virginia that I'm aware of, just because we get that warm Gulf Stream air that comes up. So like even in Tennessee, it was just like little black stoneflies and blue-winged olives. And then I came back home and went out here, and it's like blue quills are just everywhere. And then March browns, bigger stoneflies. So I was out last weekend, it's like Monday of last week, with a friend of mine, and we fished, and it was crazy how many insects were hatching. And I mean, this upcoming week, again, I think with an 80-degree day in there, and then consistently 70, and a couple of days where it looked like maybe a little bit of rain, which will only help bring the water levels to a good volume, but it should be really good fishing. Just dry fly and dropper. With my guess, is a lot of fish eating the dry fly, so it's a good time.
Yeah, any particular suggestions in terms of fly selection? I mean, we've got the tactic down to fish the dry dropper, but do you have any bugs you prefer?
Personally, my preference is big flies. So, like, if I'm to look through, TaleTellers fly box display, the stuff that I'm sticking with, if it's an elk ear caddis, I go big, like a size 10. If it's a parachute Adams, same thing, like size 10 or size 8. I mean, big stuff. And the reasoning behind that, and even with the nymphs, reasoning behind that is I found that if you are throwing like size 16s or 18s, little tiny piddly things, especially this time of the year, you'll catch fish, a lot of smaller fish. But when you want to catch the bigger ones, it often requires a bigger piece of food to get them to move. And so, like, if you plop down as big old size 8 parachute Adams on top of them, they typically move for it. So kind of like my go-to so far this year has been size 10 parachute Adams with a size 8 Prince Nymph behind it. And then the other benefit of that is brook trout are already in the land of trout sizes. Most of them would be considered runts on any other stream, but it's all relative to their size of the stream, etc. But I don't like catching those like little small ones, like the 3-4 inch fish. So when you use a bigger hook, you're eliminating those fish because the hook oftentimes is even too big for them to get it in their mouth or hooked. Well, at least that's been my experience, and that's kind of my preference. I prefer to leave those guys alone and just look for those bigger brook trout.
Got it. And folks, keep the questions coming. Shoot them to us on the Articulate Fly Facebook page. And if we read your question on the fishing report, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag. You'll get entered into a drawing at the end of the season for something cool from the shop. Before I let you hop, Ethan, why don't you let folks know where they can find you downtown Lynchburg and also on the internet?
Yeah, we're in downtown Lynchburg, Virginia, right by the James, and we're on Commerce Street. So there's a lot of stuff to do in downtown. You can come see us, hang out, tie a fly, go get coffee, go get, food once that opens back up again. But so that's one way. And then if you're looking to get stuff online or sent to you by the mail, right now we're actually doing free shipping on everything. There's not a minimum order. So you just bring up the website that we have, which is TaleTellersVA.com. So it's like TaleTellersVirginia.com. Find what you want, put it in your cart, send it in. We'll get that shipped out. Pretty much it's been same day shipping. So to get anywhere on the East Coast usually takes like anywhere from 2 to 3 days. So yeah, I mean, we're been pretty busy.
Well, that's good to hear because I know a lot of small businesses are starting to feel the crunch from the virus. And, folks, be careful and take precautions, but, you certainly owe it to yourself to get a little isolation and forget about everything that's going on and get out on the water and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Ethan.
Tight lines.